We had a major issue on the production line earlier this week, so the entire development package for this weekend has failed. Check your workstation for the details.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of my F1 2018 career mode. Today we are here for the French Grand Prix, round number 8 of the season. And if you guys did miss the last race at Canada, then do check that episode out by clicking the card in the top right hand corner of your screen. But today we arrive here for the French Grand Prix, like I mentioned, and as you can see, one upgrade that was scheduled for this race has unfortunately failed on us. It was to reduce the drag on the aerodynamic side of things. And coming into this race, you can see there, Ferrari and Toro Rosso bringing a couple of upgrades of their own and actually closing the gap to Force India and Red Bull respectively. So it's looking pretty close. McLaren at the bottom there, you can really see they're starting to struggle and drop off big time as Sauber do some big upgrades, and that midfield's getting a little bit close now and a lot of competition going on there. But now we move into Friday practice for the first time this weekend, and straight away the car felt great around this circuit. I really like Paul Ricard. It's a track where if the car works for you, got a good setup, you can do good, and the pace is going to be there. And the one thing I had in my mind going into this race weekend, yet again, was tyre temperatures, because obviously we've had that concern for the last 3 or 4 races now, pretty much all season long, but the last 3 races, especially Canada, Monaco and Spain, it's been an issue. Canada wasn't so bad in the last race, to be fair, but Monaco and Spain are still fresh in the mind, and it's always a possibility that it could happen. So in my head, I was being very cautious how I was driving around here, setup wise. I made sure that, for example, the tyre pressures were a bit lower on the rear tyres to try and give myself a bit more, a bit of a chance of trying to keep the tyres in sync. And to be fair, I was quite happy with how the setup turned out and how everything was looking going into qualifying on Saturday. Speaking of which, we are going to go out in Q1 on the ultra soft compound tyres, the fastest available compound this weekend around this circuit. And as you can see, currently through Sector 1, a couple of tenths down on Esteban Ocon, 6 tenths to be precise. I was quite surprised because Sector 1 was my strong point in past seasons, and I was so far down. Sector 2 was actually my strongest sector because I was really good through the chicane basically, and I was really good at maximising the lap time through there. Also straight line speed wise, we weren't too bad to say we're in this Red Bull, and straight away we go P12 as you can see there, and we do actually go through into Q2, first time of asking on the ultra soft tyres. So all in all, a good session. Ricardo though, a brilliant third place as we now delve into Q2. Speaking of which, we go onto the super soft compound tyres, the slower of the two available in qualifying, and to set our first lap in Q2, which to be fair wasn't spectacular, but it's a good little reference point as we go P13. And now we switch over to the ultra softs. Now we're going to run a ball for a full lap of the Paul Ricard circuit here as we make our way down to turn 1 and 2. First of all, 50-meter board as a reference point to turn in / brake. The first turn is onside because of the sun on the apex, so you kind of have to just guess and hope for the best if you're not using the racing line, as we now throw it into this twisty little section here towards the end of the first sector. It's all about precision here, threading the eye of the needle, and a lot of patience in terms of getting the right line. We get a great bit of acceleration there out of the right swooper onto the back straight, and we open up the DRS as you can see, and so far the lap's off to a pretty good start, and we're a couple of tenths up already as we now make our way into the chicane. This is where I've been absolutely supreme all weekend long, as you can see, really throwing the car in there, attacking both apexes on the power super early as we maximise the exit there and across the second sector split, and we're only a couple of tenths of a second down here, so it's still looking like a pretty decent lap as we now go through the swooping right after we finish off with the Mistral straight, now going into this long swooping right, the best corner on the track in my opinion, a double apex right. It's all about just precision here once again, and having the momentum and the flow, and feeling confident with the car to really attack the corners as we now go through the off-cambered left and now into the penultimate corner, this double apex left-hander which feeds into the ever so tricky right-hand hairpin final corner, which is more than 90 degrees, so you have to really come back on yourself here. Little tap of the curb on the inside, little short shift on the exit, up the gears, and as you can see, up to the line. Where are we going to go? And it's going to be Q3 for yet another appearance in the final part of qualifying as we get P10 and just scrape into the final part of qualifying. So for me, that is a successful session. P10's not ideal, so I'm hoping I can do a little bit better. And we actually knocked out Daniel Ricciardo in the process, who tried to qualify on the super soft. So a big surprise there, and something I did not expect. And we now move into a rare Q3 appearance for us in this career mode. I think only the third one this season after Spain and China. So let's see how it goes. First of all, a first lap, as you can see, 8th place, nothing spectacular. Second attempt is the one where the money is, so let's see how this lap goes. Once again, turns 1 and 2, look at the 50-meter board as a reference point to get slowed down and also turn in, really attack the curves, especially that second one, to really open up the exit and maximise the lap time. As you can see, a 10th up already as we now go into this little twisty section yet again here. Really, it's about really attacking the curbs. This one here on the left, you want to try and lay off it and then really attack that right. There's a lot of time to gain there, and using maximum curbing on the power super early, and it's a great start to the lap, but then I just get out of shape and I probably throw away about 10th and a half there on the exit onto the back straight. A big mistake there, and that cost me a bit of time because I definitely could have been about 4 tenths up by now if I'd not made that error, because that's going to ruin my speed all the way down the straight. Chicane though, absolutely perfect, really attacking it there, maximising lap time. I'm all over the curbs as we now go across the second sector split, and so far not too bad, only a couple of tenths down here in my best lap so far this entire weekend, as we now go through the swooping right into the best corner on the circuit yet again. 50 metre board as a reference, turn in, have a lot of patience, pick up the throttle mid corner and run the car nice and wide as we now go into the off cambered left. It's about patience through here. Fourth gear action. I try third. Doesn't really work out as I lose the back end a little bit. And now into the penultimate corner here. 50 metre board again as a reference to turn into the corner and really focus on the final hairpin and prioritise your exit. And that's going to dictate how your lap ends. And we're currently about 4 tenths up as we come across the line. And it's going to be an incredible P4 in qualifying after scraping through Q1 and scraping through Q2. In Q3 we came alive and we found the pace. And we qualify on the second row of the grid, albeit with Lewis and Ocon not setting any lap times for some reason. I'm guessing maybe they might have not had any tyres left. But all in all, a great qualifying for us. And I think I could have beaten Vettel if I just not made that mistake. So, yeah, not too disappointed. A pretty decent session. And we're actually going to fit a fresh or semi-fresh engine, which we only used once in Bahrain, onto the car for the race. So with that being said, that is qualifying done and dusted. And now let's move to the race for the French Grand Prix.
Welcome along then to the circuit Paul Ricard, home of the French Grand Prix, home race of the Renault team, and of course a number of the drivers on the grid as well. Of the 14 races held here up until 1990, 5 were won by a Frenchman, and 4 of those, of course, were Alain Prost. I wonder who'll add their name to that winners list today. A lap of Paul Ricard then consists of 15 corners and a total length of around 3.6 miles. Drivers will need to position their cars carefully on the exit of the flat-out turn 10, ready for the double apex right-hander at 11. Watch out for potential overtaking action at the end of the start-finish straight and into the heavy braking zone of turn 8. Anthony Davidson joins me again for the race today. Let's talk briefly about Brendan Hartley. Looks like they've got a tough race in store today as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Kimi Raikkonen's perfect lap yesterday sees him start from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Martinez, Pierre Gasly and Hülkenberg, Sainz, Ocon, Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo, Alonso, Ericsson, Valtteri Bottas and Magnussen, Grosjean, Leclerc, Brendan Hartley. They've taken a grid penalty, and Lance Stroll, Sirotkin and Stoffel van Dorn completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, here we go then. It's race day for the French Grand Prix. We start from 4th on the grid, 2nd row, which was quite surprising in qualifying. Admittedly, we probably should have been, I'd say, 6th or 7th, because Ocon and Hamilton didn't set a lap in Q3 for some reason. They might have run out of tyres, I don't know. But either way, I'm not complaining. 2nd row, and the only downside is the tyres. Obviously, we qualified in Q3. We are going to have to start on the Ultra Softs, which aren't going to last that long. Only about 4 laps. Now, we'll see how that goes. Yet again, looking at practice, tyre overheating and tyre temperatures are a concern yet again. So I'm kind of hoping we can manage it. Strategy-wise, 2-stopper here today. The 1-stop's going to be pretty much near impossible. It is doable, but with my tyre temperature issues, we're just going to go for the 2-stop. We've flipped it around though, so we're going to go onto the softs first and then onto the supers later on instead of the other way around. Hopefully that goes well, because I remember here from the last 2 seasons, the soft tyre has been a phenomenal race tyre. So I'm actually looking forward to going onto that tyre and racing on it. But with that being said, let's see how it goes. We're 2 laps over with fuel, so we're quite heavy, and we'll have Rich at our disposal to try and attack and defend accordingly. I think we can have a good race today, and I think we can make something positive happen. Hopefully, unlike in Spain where we qualified so well and we finished so poorly in the race, hopefully tyre temperatures aren't as bad and we can actually take the front foot and try and have a good race. To be honest with you, I'd take a top 5 finish. So let's see how it goes. And without further ado, let's jump into round 8 for the French Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. Getting ready for the 5 red lights here at the circuit. Paul Ricard. Lights out. And away we go. Decent start off the line. We get absolutely rinsed by Pierre Gasly though. He absolutely flies past me. And then also Carlos Sainz on the inside there into turn 1. We have to yield and give away that position, unfortunately. And that's 2 places conceded already on the opening lap. Here comes Ocon. He's looking for the inside. I'm giving him a good old squeeze. I'm kind of surrounded by cars here at the moment. We run wide into this right-hander, but we do edge out in front. Sebastian Vettel in front there, sub. I start with Sainz. Sainz gets a poor exit. We're going to slip up the inside and get the move done and recover that position. Good stuff. So far, so good. Let's see what we're like for straight line speed here. It looks like we're okay. The new power unit's going to do its job, and we should have a couple of extra Ks on the straight. So this is good news for us. A little bit of extra horsepower. Perez all over the back of Kimi there for first place. We're just kind of settling into this race. Hopefully tyres stay in check temperature-wise, but let's settle into this now, and let's see if we can keep up with the top 4. Gasly right now, the man with the best start, up into P3. Onto the back straight here. We're close to Sebastian. I've had a great sector 1. I might actually have a go at the Ferrari man here. We don't have DRS, but we do have a nice tow. Seb is getting a nice slipstream from Gasly in front though, unfortunately, so we're not going to get close enough into the brake zone, but we are still very close to him here. If we can set up the exit out of the chicane, focus on traction input. Let's try and go overtake ERS again here. We're a little bit closer this time. We might get a run on Sebastian. Here we go. We're gaining on him. We're going to keep it in the high engine modes. Seb's getting a lovely tow from Pierre Gasly though, and I just can't quite commit to that overtake, but still showing good pace so far. That's not much of a surprise, and I think I've got good pace. It's about my tyre temperatures, so we'll see how that progresses in the next couple of laps. We're just edging towards Sebastian here in standard engine modes. Definitely looking pretty racy here at the minute. We're keeping up with the race pace. Gasly not that fast, it has to be said. The Renaults behind are keeping up, and there's a Haas right behind the Renaults, but we're definitely breaking away here into a 3-car pack for 3rd place. Perez and Kimi are battling for the race lead, but so far so good. DRS is enabled, so we're running at a strong pace. I could just feel my tyres there just starting to squirm a bit. Could be a sign that they're starting to get a bit hot. We're coming in at the end of lap 4 anyway, so it's not really much of a concern. I wonder if we can have a go this time. We're pretty close. Here we go, DRS enabled. I'm going to go to overtake. Vettel hasn't got a great tow on Gasly, so this is it. He's vulnerable. We're going to commit to the inside. Up the inside, I'm hot on the brakes, but we do get it slowed down. We're going to be compromised though on the exit out of the chicane. We're going to have to use ERS in hot lap mode and also rich mix as well to defend. Sebastian's catching, but he's actually not committing to anything. He seems to be running a lower engine mode or can't keep up on the straights. Either way, we get the move done for P4, which is great, and we get past one of the Ferraris, which is quite surprising, especially because it's the dominant championship leader, and Gasly now is in front, and we're scheduled to come in this lap. Right, we're going to come into the pit lane then, because my left rear is just starting to get hot, so the timing is impeccable for it. Let's make sure we get it all slowed down here. It's a very early pit entry, 60 kilometers an hour, but there we go. We do the job. Bit of a pit stop scrap here. That forcing to get held up. Right, there we go. Solid 2.3 stop. Not getting held up whatsoever. That's good news for me. Right then, P15, we're going to drop down the order a bit. Difference is, you can see Vettel and Gasly, they're on super soft compound tyres, we're on softs. So a bit of a contrast in compounds here, but hopefully that will benefit me later on in the Grand Prix. There goes Esteban Ocon. He must have come in last lap, a lap earlier, so he's going to be ahead of us now. But his tyres will be 1 lap older. Either way, let's see how this race goes now. This stint is very important. We need to hopefully have good pace in this tyre. I had it in the Toro Rosso for the last 2 seasons, so I'm hoping for more of the same in this Red Bull. Right, a couple of cars in the pit lane. Ocon with the fastest lap. It's going to be close with Sebastian. There's Hulkenberg, so we've come out ahead of him. Sebastian close, but not close enough. However, he is pretty fast, and to be fair, I'm tempted to just let him go and not waste time, because it's critical that we don't ruin these tyres. And as long as I can keep up with Sebastian, which I think I can with DRS, we should be able to come back at him later on in the Grand Prix. A couple more cars in the pit lane now as we get promoted to P12. We are going to encounter quite a lot of one-stoppers this race, so that's going to give us plenty of opportunities this race to do the business. Hence why getting this soft tyre out of the way now, whilst lapping, or not lapping, but overtaking slower traffic, is going to help us out, because then later on we'll have the benefit of the super softs, while these guys would use their super softs trying to get past the slower cars. Here comes Seb. I'm going to go to the inside, show him the long way around. To be fair, he's got it done pretty easily there, so I'm not going to do much about that. Hopefully I can follow him. That's what I'm hoping for. We should be able to keep Hulkenberg behind. That shouldn't be a concern. I'm kind of hoping that with the Vettel slipstream, I can try and pull away from the Renault man. Vettel fastest lap, as expected. My rear's a little bit hot, so we've got to be careful. Personal best though. Look at that, 32.1, half a second up. Just about keeping within Sebastian's DRS. Oh, yellow flag. And it's Kimi Räikkönen off the track. There he is on the inside. Something's happened with Kimi. Might have had a bit of a scrap or a bit of contact with Perez possibly. Either way, yellow flag conditions. We gain a position now, up into 12th place. And virtual safety car deployed from that. So there you go. I wonder what the hell happened in that incident. We'll have to watch that one back on the replay. Oh, Lewis Hamilton's out of the race. And Raikkonen, they're both out. Okay, what the hell has happened there then? I'm not really sure.
So
Marcus Ericsson out as well.
They are out of the race.
And Lance Stroll. Jesus, what the hell has happened there? 4 cars out of the race. That's confused me. I've lost a bit of time with the VSC, but either way, we'll get up to racing speed here. I will say we've definitely been spread out a bit. And those who haven't come in on the 1-stop are doing a great race at the moment. And this is going to really put us on the back foot here on the 2-stopper. We're miles away from making any overtakes at the moment. So Danny Rick is in. Obviously he qualified outside the top 10. So expect the 1-stoppers to be coming in now for a set of soft compound tyres. And they're going to the end. So we're going to gain a few places here. For now, it's going to be close. I think, yeah, Danny Rick's actually going to jump me. Wow, he's like a pit stop ahead of me. So Ricardo, great pace, and he's made the strategy work out. He's ahead of me on track position, in net position. And as we extend turn 1 there, not great at the moment, P8, but we're struggling here, I think, to score points. We're going to have to work for it. Okay, cars in the pit lane here. Green flag there momentarily. I'm not sure what happened, but we get promoted into 5th place. Doing a good job here so far. Although I'm a little bit concerned, we're going to have to get past a few guys. And there is a yellow flag, and it's a car on the right-hand side. It's Sergio Perez out of the race. In the 14th, there he is on the right hand side. Wow, another retirement. And we're now up into P4. I thought I saw a green flag on the pit straight, and it wasn't my eyes mistaking me. It was Perez who's retired from the Grand Prix. So Ricardo, who's already done his pit stop, is on for a podium here in this race on the 1-stop strategy. That's crazy. We're trying to fight Hulkenberg here. I can't shake him off with the DRS. He's too hard to shake behind, and he's actually gaining on me here. He's pretty quick. That Renault's definitely improved on the straights, but he's not fast enough to really get alongside me on the straights, and so far doing a good job of keeping him behind. Okay, so Danny Rick inherits the race lead, the net race lead. Gasly and Vettel come in. Hulkenberg stays out for 1 more along with myself. He should be coming in fairly soon though. But it's a 1-2 for Red Bull momentarily. I wish I could get these to the end, but I don't think I can. And there we go, Hulkenberg comes in. So we're now going to be left alone for a little while. We do have Bottas behind on the soft compound tyres. I'm guessing also on the 1-stop strategy, and he's already stopped, so he's going to be on the back of me fairly soon. I am currently evaluating the possibility of going to the end on these tyres. It's quite a way to go, but the thing is, there's a lot of slower cars behind me who I think I could keep behind, so I'm not really sure what to do at the moment. I'm kind of just weighing everything up. Okay, that was my scheduled pit stop lap. I'm going to stay out for 1 more. I want to see for 1 more lap what things are like. Bottas, sure, he might get past me, but look at that massive train of cars behind, all having a massive scrap. I reckon I've got enough laps and enough in the tyres to stay ahead of that battle. Right, I think I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to try and go to the end of the race on these tyres. I'm going to roll the dice. Hopefully it pays off. Bottas is now on the back of me here, so we're going to have to do some defensive work. Or I'll let him go straight away so we keep our overall pace, which I'm kind of thinking that might be the best option. Right, here comes Valtteri. I'm going to let him take the outside. Hopefully he gets the job done before the corner. If not, I'll get on the brakes a little bit earlier. I don't want to fight that because it's just a losing battle. Let's try. And now we've got maximum ERS. I've still got a lap of fuel left. Now's when we try and use everything tactically to try and stay with Bottas and his DRS and try and run at a higher pace. Okay, so far so good. Only 4/10 off my PB. Good stuff. Gasly now though has broken away from the pack. He's got past everyone and has actually broken the DRS, so he's going to be on the back of me fairly soon. So we need to try and keep on sticking with Bottas and his DRS if possible. Another solid lap. Still staying within Bottas DRS. Looks like people are starting to get a move on though. Ocon and Gasly are starting to knock on the door, but we're still doing a good job here and staying ahead of Bottas. Or should I say behind him more like. I'm following Bottas, that's what I meant. I'm literally just grasping on to whatever's left of Bottas' DRS here. All the big boys have broken free. Vettel, Ocon, Gasly, they're all on the hunt. And I'm trying my hardest to stick with Valtteri here if we can. Maximising every single bit of engine, ERS and rich mix use. We'll lock up there on the front right. First signs that tyres are starting to go. Right then, here we go. It's crunch time. Last few laps of the Grand Prix. And Gasly is now well within range and my tyres are really starting to let go now. I'm out of DRS as well. Bottas has shaken me off. So here comes Pierre. We're going to go for the squeeze. Going to pick up the toe. Can we get anything out of this? I don't think we can. Not quite. Gasly runs a little bit deep, but no lock-up or anything. And Gasly gets P3. Hopefully he starts battling with Bottas. That would really help me out. I need to save that little bit of DRS for the remaining battles here. Okay, I don't have DRS from Gasly. I've lost it onto the straight. Here comes Ocon. I'm going to force him to the outside. He gets the move done though just before the corner, unfortunately. He does lock up though, runs deep. Lets me straight back through. And there's been contact between Ocon and Vettel. I think Vettel might be out. Definite contact there. Ocon might have come back onto the racing line. Is Sebastian Vettel out of the race? Is that confirmed? Let's wait and find out. 2.5 laps to go, and now Gasly and Bottas are going to start battling here. They're going literally almost side by side into this section. But this is really kicking off here, and we're doing a great job. I definitely wouldn't have got P4 if I'd come in for super softs. I can tell you that for a fact. This is definitely better than I expected. And there you go, Vettel is out of the race. Confirmation, the championship leader retires from the French Grand Prix. And I wonder if Ocon might have some front wing damage or something, who knows. Either way, he's not really close enough to me to really have a go on this home straight. 2 laps to go. Okay, I think I've got enough of a buffer here to stay ahead of Ocon, at least for now, on this straight. Right, final corner, going on to the last lap of the Grand Prix here. We should have enough in the tank to run hot lap and rich mix during the lap. And that should be enough to keep me ahead of Ocon. Right, here we go then. Ocon's gaining on me. He's gaining a bit by bit. We're going to force him to the inside a little bit. Ocon though makes the move. We switch right back underneath and go underneath. A little bit of contact. Yellow flag. Have I just ruined?
Some information on Leclerc. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
I think I just ruined Ocon's suspension. Yeah, he's out of the race. And Leclerc's got car issues. That's very unfortunate for Ocon. I mean, I swung back underneath. Nothing came off the car. My car's fine. But just the way that suspension's hit, it must have really ruined his race. I'll have to watch that one back in the replay. Either way, I'm going to take it. For me, I think that was fair and square. I saw him run deep. I went for the switchback and it paid off. Meanwhile, Ricciardo has won the French Grand Prix from P11 on the grid. Gasly's going to get second in the Toro Rosso. Bottas third. And we are going to come home for a brilliant 4th place finish. Exactly where we started. And I'm very happy with that. And I will take that every day of the week. Great performance. Staying out on the soft tyre paid off. I don't even know how worn those tyres were, but ultimately it was the way to go on the strategy. Right, so looking at the final race results, Daniel Ricciardo, my teammate, wins the French Grand Prix, first win of the season I believe, ahead of Pierre Gasly and Valtteri Bottas. We come home in 4th place ahead of Romain Grosjean, Nico Hülkenberg, Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz, Kevin Magnussen and Stoffel Van Dorn. Brendan Hartley missing out the point, Charles Leclerc car issue towards the end, and look how many retirements. Lewis Hamilton, Kimi Raikkonen, Sergio Perez, Sebastian Vettel and Esteban Ocon, both Force Indias and both Ferraris out. Championship contenders out of the race. You could argue that Ocon might have been my fault. Personally, I think it's not that deep. I don't think I did anything wrong, but it's just bad luck the way we hit on the suspension. In terms of the driver standings though, as you can see, we dropped down to P5 as Gasly overtakes me. Daniel Ricciardo up into 3rd place now, taking a massive step forward, and Vettel's lead does come down at the top. However, he's still 48 points clear of the rest of the pack, and Perez is still 2nd even with that DNF, so the top 2 are still untouchable. In terms of the constructor standings though, we jump up into 2nd place and we overtake Force India with that 1st and full finish. We're actually going to 2nd place, so very positive news from myself and Ricciardo there, and hopefully we can do more of that over the season and try and improve as a team. But all in all, a very enjoyable race here at the French Grand Prix, and again, more positive signs that we're moving forward and making progress with a great 4th place finish. But now, let's move into the laptop. Right, so it's time for contract negotiations. Now, we don't have to really vary too much from the contract that we currently have, so I reckon I'm just going to try and maybe stick in some pit stop efficiency and see if we get that lucky break. Right, let's see on our first attempt what they say.
We're asking for too much here. We need to make some compromises.
Right, first one, not great. We will remove pit stop efficiency, also qualifying position, I'll go P8. Let's see what they say to offer number 2.
They aren't coming round to that proposal. Let's try something else.
Right, I've only got one left, so we've got to be generous here and we have to be honest with ourselves. Right, I've gone for podiums, so 3rd place in the race, qualifying 9th because I can't do qualifying, and I've knocked down my simultaneous development to level 1. Let's see what they say to this.
I'm afraid negotiations have broken down, and there's nothing more I can do. Luckily, we had the team's original offer to fall back on, so we've agreed to those terms. We'll have another chance to negotiate down the road.
Damn, well that's annoying to say the least. Only 25% resource point bonus, that's absolutely useless, but oh well, it's my fault, I didn't renegotiate the contract properly. Either way, upgrade time. So what are we doing? Because obviously looking at the coming races, you know, obviously after this we've got Austria, which is a power circuit. You know, we need to be fast on the straight. Silverstone as well. Then we've got Hungary, Germany as well. A bit of a mix, and there's not really a standout type of you know, racetrack for the car. Now the first one we're going to get is the failed upgrade, which was for the drag, and that should arrive for the next race in Austria. We have 1,100 points remaining, and I'm tempted to go chassis again because that's somewhere we can improve. And again, we've got weight reduction here. We've got a major upgrade, which is a bit too expensive for me, so I'm tempted to get this chassis one and once again reduce the weight of the car. If we bring a weight reduction and also a drag reduction, the car should be a lot more efficient on the straights, and hopefully that pays off. So let's see how it goes. But nonetheless, hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode of Career Mode. If you have, then drop a like on the video. Also, do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content. Also, turn on notifications to not miss a single upload from me. And finally, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching this episode of Career Mode, and I'll see you on the next one very soon. Goodbye.